it's time to reflect on someone that I know touched many of you here today. We lost an important figure in our scene this year.
His name was Richard Antwi, and please welcome to the stage his business partner and longtime friend, Duppy.
Hello everyone. As you can imagine, this is not something I wish I was here to do and to talk about. I remember texting Rich from this event last year and us discussing how amazing the scene is and where it's at, and now, a year forward, he's watching us from above. Like when Posty asked me to talk about it, for so many reasons, I thought, I don't want to do it, I don't think I can do it, it'll be really difficult. And then it hit me how important it is for people to understand that there are some real G's behind the scenes, behind the artists that we love, behind the superstars that we've all believed in the beginning. And that's one of the reasons I thought I needed to do this and to talk about my bro. And secondly, the word legacy was something that Rich always used to go on about. A man in his 30s, and he was always going on about legacy, and I was like, bro, chill with that word, you've got a long time to do the legacy thing. I want to come back to that word. And the third reason is, me standing here talking about Richard, he'll be gassed. He'll be super, super gassed and super happy that he's being represented and people are understanding how much of a real G he was. He was a proper G, man. And his wonderful family are here, and I'm really glad that they're here to hear how amazing that he was. Now, like I said, there are so many important people behind the scenes. When you think of the Skeptors of the world, let's not forget the Sams, the Graces, the Radas, the Dexes. When you think of Stormzy, there's amazing people like the Tobys, the Rachels, the AKs. When you think of the Giggses, you got Buck alongside killing it. When you think of the Kanos, there's Richards there from the beginning. When you think about Lethals, there's Nadia's there from the beginning. It's like amazing that we have a scene of artists, but they're propped up by really important people that believe in them from the beginning and do the things that we don't see, you know? And I think those people need to be celebrated, and it's super, super, super important that I'm here to talk about a proper G, Mr. Richard Antwi. Now, I want to talk about him in a little bit. So Richard was from the hood, you have to understand. Anyone know Chalk Hill Estate? Yeah. It's so bad, it's not there no more. It's not actually there. It's gone now. And his family won't mind me saying he came from the most humble beginnings, man. It's one of them estates. I used to visit a cousin there. I had a little cousin. And all I remember from going there in the 90s was the one time, you know you're in an estate where the place you play is called the Cage. So we used to all try and go to the Cage. My cousin was mad young for me, and me and my twin used to try and go to the Cage, and my aunt was like, no, don't go to the Cage. They stab. That's where Richard grew up. But that didn't hold Richard back. That's not the environment that you get an Oxford graduate from, but that's Richard. And it's funny because I've talked to a lot of people to try and get a bit more background about Rich on a proper professional, and he's the only person from his school that ever went to Oxford. Broke down so many barriers, man. And I'll talk about my own journey and how I got to meet Rich. So it was about 12, 13 years ago, at my first year in university. We were running around in East. I got to meet loads of the incredible artists that I call friends, some that I kind of, ended up working with and whatnot. And as a DJ, me, my bro, a few of us in the clique in East, we were just obsessed with music. That was our thing. And all we used to do was talk about music, whether we're DJing or whatever. It was music. It was our thing, man. And we did a mixtape called Split Mics. Loads of incredible artists that were in the room were in there. Sincere, D-Double, Kano. Loads of people that I super look up to. And it's weird because it was the time when, it's funny when you think about the industry. And it was a time when the industry started to come to black music. And it's a weird thing approaching the industry back, and it was weird going into the buildings and meeting loads of different people who have professional jobs and realizing that none of them really look like me. You walk in the building and the only black people are the security or the auntie serving the food or two street team people or dons like Glyn and Darkus who, have been repping from day. And Tim and Barry helped us do the mixtape at the time. And Tim said to me, you need to meet one Don, super young Don, he's a lawyer. I was like, right, a lawyer, all right, cool. So me and my clique, we got together. I remember about 6 of us went there, 2003, so I had Split Mic on our t-shirt, I had my academics tracksuit bottoms on, I had my Air Forces, I was swagging on them that day, I was meeting a lawyer. So we all went there, and I remember he walked in. First thing he said is, how can I help you? I thought, rah, this Trevor Nelson looking dude just walked in the room and just softened the whole thing. It was incredible. And from that moment on, I knew I met a brother. I remember going home that day, and saying to my mum, right, Mum, I met a lawyer. She's like, a lawyer? Oh, no, what have you done? No. I was like, Mum, no, chill. Chill. Music lawyer? Oh, his name's Richard Antwi. Antwi, Ghanaian. Oh, my gosh, my mum was gassed. He's an Oxford graduate. She fainted, hit the floor. It was mad. It was mad. And from that point onwards, it's funny. My mum would ask about how I'm doing, how's work, how's, your girlfriend, how's this, how's Richard? You don't ask about the siblings, nah, Richard, yeah? Okay, cool. And up until he sadly passed, that was always the way when I spoke to my mum. She'd always ask about him and Ras Kwame, because he was Ghanaian as well. Just ask his name, randomly. And from that point onwards, me and Rich used to have the most incredible conversations about music and life. He was my brother, he was an advisor, he was so wise. And we'll talk for like an hour about flipping Gets will drop the remix for Top 3 Selected. Hour later, nah, Devlin took it. Nah, it was Rich. That mad line Rich did. Nah. Or it'll be a 2 a.m. phone call. Oh my gosh, Fleur to D is killing Pirate Session. Switch it on. It was like that. And the chalk hill always stayed in him. It was mad. But like I said, he was an inspirational character. It wasn't just the culture that he kind of became successful in. I could go on about stories from my brother Rich for days, but I'll tell you a couple before I leave. There's one. He was looking after a guy called Jack Fignate, who was an incredible artist, signed to Excel, successful, gold album, all that. And there was one girl from Tottenham who he was going on about. Richard was like, oh my gosh, this girl is incredible. She's going to change the world. I was like, yeah, Rich, whatever, cool, safe. No, twin, she's sick. Played me her music. I was like, yeah, she's quite dope. She's actually pretty sick. He's like, no, you know what? I'm going to look after her. I'm going to become a lawyer. Watch. And lo and behold, he became a lawyer for about 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, he went and told the whole world how incredible this girl was. She's super sick. She's sick. She's amazing. Like I said, I spoke to a few people about Richard before I wanted to do this and just kind of get like a rounded view. And I spoke to the guy who ended up signing this girl, and he said the only reason he even took the meeting because Richard was so hot as a lawyer that if he mentioned something, you had to take the meeting. Ended up being Adele, so it wasn't wrong about it. And we ended up being super cool. I remember the first artist that we actually looked after ended up being a support for her first tour, which was wicked. I reckon she fancied him, to be honest. She's from Tottenham, innit? So she loves the chocolate, them ones. But yeah, Richard was incredible. And then I was lucky enough to end up being Richard's business partner because he was such a hard-working guy. And he came up with this concept for a company, and we discussed it. And he's like, 360, 2006, 2007, we were talking about it. I was like, you know what? People don't do enough for artists. People behind the scenes only have one job. It needs to be multifaceted. And that term 360 was born them times. And I genuinely believe that the conversations Richard had really kind of started to get that word flying around. And it's because I think we're both the children of parents who worked 2 or 3 jobs, so we were never scared of working hard. And that brother was not scared of working hard at all. 5 a.m. emails, 6 a.m. emails. And then we built Levels. It started as a rounded management and publishing company, and we ended up working with so many incredible people. And Rich, you have to understand, was at the beginning of everything. You can ask Terra Danger, ask Tinchy Strider, Tings in Boots, Tinchy Strider. Kalashnikov's first lawyer was Richard Antwi. Lethal Bizzle, you would not be driving a Lamborghini if it weren't for Richard Antwi, and we all know this as well. Richard's first lawyer and the person who really helped drive Lethal through the industry door as well. And yeah, so we set up the company. And one more story I want to tell you about Richard is the first record we released when we had our record outlet was Egyptian Hold You. So we signed that gas. Richard really was African, but really deep in his soul, he was a yardie as well, to be honest. So that gassed him. So that was our first release. And the Nicki Minaj version was flying around. And it's like, you know what, we have to clear this if we're going to release it. So we reached out to Nicki Minaj's people, 100 grand. All right, cool, safe, babes. All right, safe. Thanks for the, yeah, cool. And for Bants, I said to him, you know what, let's get Foxy Brown or Little Kim. Jokes, Bants, left it. No word of a lie. Richard was going to New York 2 weeks later. And it was about 2 a.m. on a Saturday. I'll never forget this because it was so random. And I had so many missed calls from Rich. Got up, and I phoned him back. And you know when you feel like you're talking to someone who's hiding in the corner of a room? Picked up the phone. Twin. I'm like, what are you doing, bruv? Bruv, I'm in Foxy Brown's boyfriend's house, bruv. What are you doing there, bruv? Bruv, she's cussing Nicki Minaj, bruv. Cussing her, bruv. Can't phone you back. Yeah, bruv, can you get me the instrumental, bruv? I'm like, Rich, what are you doing, bro? bruv, can you get me the instrumental? Boo, cut off again. No word of a lie, sent him the instrumental. Next day, Foxy Brown version of Nicki Minaj, Hold You. It's on the internet, no one really cared, but it existed. That's typical Richard, man. And yeah, February 12th, 2016, phone call, 1:30, from Zion, screaming down the phone, going mad. Couldn't even hear him, going mad. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And yeah, he gave me the horrible news that my brother had passed. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you're mad. What? Remember, I just sat there. My girl walked in at the time, because I think he phoned her, couldn't get hold of me. And she walked in the house. I think Reg said it in his fire in the booth. I phoned Reg on the phone for 2 hours, and we said 3 words. And he's gone. And it made me think of a lot of things, man. I want to go back to that word legacy, because Richard always used to go on about the word legacy, and we all get to leave a legacy of some sort. And the week he died, I was doing a One Extra Breakfast show, and I couldn't do it. There's only one small thing that I had to do. It was a panel in Tottenham for Mixtape Madness. And I was there, and there was this one girl at the front, and she was staring at me the whole time. And then I spoke to her, thinking she was going to be like on this, the industry don't do nothing for black women, she had dark glasses on. And she came up to me and she said, you know what, Richard, about 6 months ago, I tweeted him, and we had a weird argument about where music is at. He asked if I was interested in music. I told him I was a student. He came and met me the next day, wrote my CV up, approached the law firm, and got me a work experience thing. And I realized a couple of weeks later when I was thinking about the word legacy, that was Richard's legacy. As much as we think about, we all want the cars and all the things that are material success, yeah? But legacy is the mark that we leave on people's hearts and flames that we light in people to inspire them to keep doing what they're doing. And it's an honor to say that Richard Antwi was someone that done that for me and many people, and it's been a pleasure to talk about him. Richard Antwi, my brother, rest in peace.